Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another concert streamed live from the Mainstay in beautiful Rock Hall, Maryland. If you're enjoying these live programs, please consider supporting the Mainstay at www.mainstayrockhall.org/sponsors. Later this month, please join us for the Eastern Shore's favorite sons, the Eastport Oyster Boys. Tonight, we present Emmy-nominated singer-songwriter and multi-instrumentalist Ellen Cherry.
We'd rather burn see, it was luck, this accidental atomic grandeur. It's not too late on this stage, there's no room for amateurs. All right. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. My name is Ellen Cherry. I'm a Baltimore-based song and story alchemist. I'd like to thank our crew this evening, which is John and Clark, who are running the tech and the sound here at the Mainstay in beautiful Rock Hall, Maryland. It's a pleasure to also welcome my co-host on a podcast called Why Aren't You Famous and a songwriter in his own right, Mr. Andrew Grimm. Please welcome him to the stage, and we will listen for your applause from all over the world and the internet out there. I'm very excited to be playing music today. It's such a strange time to be a live performer, and so I'm very appreciative of not only the venues that are working to give us a place to do this safely. Both Andrew and I are wearing masks. The crew is wearing masks. I hope you're wearing a mask every single time you step out your front door to protect yourself and to protect everyone else around you. And just sit back, let us be in your homes or your office or on your phone, in your car, not while you're driving, and let us entertain you for the next hour with some songs and some stories and just sharing the time together. I'm so grateful to be with you tonight. This is a song about forgiveness, and what I have found in the 2 years that I've been singing it since I wrote it is that one of the hardest things to do is to forgive myself, and that's the place where I have to start. So this is a song that I sing to myself and to you if you should need it. It's called Maybe, and it's a song about saying I'm sorry. Maybe I could spend 2 years feeling sorry for myself. Maybe I could shift the blame to someone else. Maybe I could give my love away, I'd give it all for free. Maybe I'll forget again to save some of it for me. First I filled my own 2 hands with all my lonely tears. Then I dug a canyon, I filled it up with years. And after all that time, the only thing I learned was how to set love on fire and how to watch it burn. Close your eyes, take my hands, hear these words, understand it's no lie, there's no plan, fly like birds, 'cause we can. Maybe you were wondering, or maybe you might know how hard it was for me to stay, hard it was to go. Remember when you said nothing, that came so easily. Maybe you had changed the lock, maybe I lost my key. So close your eyes, take my hands, hear these words, understand it's no lie, there's no plan, fly like birds, 'cause we can. Maybe I could think your thoughts, then I worry you'd be right. Maybe I could think all day and straight on through the night. Well, maybe I could spend 2 years never standing still. Maybe you'll forgive me soon, maybe you never will. I love a good love song. So this next song that we're going to play for you is a song that I wrote when I was the tender age of 30. And I knew everything there was to know about love. I just knew it all. I'd figured it all out. And then now, many years later, I am understanding that one of the most important qualities in my experience about love is that it changes, it grows, it deepens. And there's always going to be something new to learn about it. And one of the wonderful things I think about living in the 21st century is that we no longer live in a world where there's only one love story. All different types of love stories get celebrated, which means that everyone gets to be included. Nobody is excluded from having a love story. You can have love stories that are about parents and children, brothers and sisters, friends have love stories that we have with ourselves. And that excites me because it's more inclusive, and it means that everyone gets to understand that there's not just one way to be in love. I wear a window on my heart so you can see right through. A single pane of glass separates the vows, the halves. It does not sever me from you. I put a seal upon my lips. That's a promise to be true. Reminder residue, and it preserves clues and other cues. And that kiss I saved for you. It's a knot that won't untie, a truth that doesn't lie, a tiny death we shared exactly the same time. It brought us back to life. I've got a callus on my hand. Oh, you know the work I've done. An honest mark, you see, and it protects the very heart of me and all the battles I have won. It's skin that will not break, a silent sleep that cannot wake, an incandescence that never loses light. I hope to dream of you tonight. I hope to dream of you tonight. from you. All right. So as we are here in this room with just 4 of us, but hopefully all of you out there, I was talking with John earlier, who is the person who booked me and has been communicating with me here at the Mainstay. This is a wonderful venue, and I cannot wait to come back and play it again as a live stream in the future, but also in a room full of people when that's possible. This is a chemistry experiment. Live performance is a chemistry experiment, and part of our chemistry is different because of the audience not being here. And so what I most enjoy is going back and viewing the live streams later and seeing if people responded to it or hearing from you. So please send me a message. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram. John's going to throw up my website. There's a contact page. You can send me an email. I love to hear from people. The second thing I wanted to encourage you to do right now is that it's a stressful time across the planet. And one of the best things you can do is to just take a big glass of Starlight and drink it, which is what I'm going to do right now. It's called water, and it's Friday night. We can all drink this together tonight. All right, a love song. This one's called If I, and it was inspired by a melody written by Andrew Grimm, and we're going to play one of his songs right after this one. But this is one of my favorite new love songs to sing. If I fell asleep and I had a little dream, and then I woke up, would you meet me in between the pages of a book or the aisle of a store? Baby, you can get bored of anything but me. You can let me cry. You can make time fly. Just don't say goodbye. Just don't say if I held you in my arms and kissed you once or twice. Wouldn't that be nice to look up at the stars and let the moment go? Just join the undertow. Look into my eyes. I won't make you cry. I won't say goodbye. And you can let me fly if you say if I. All right, I can hear you. I can hear you out there. So the next song is by Andrew Grimm. We have a podcast together called Why Aren't You Famous? We are currently 1 episode into season 4. We did that episode 6 months ago, but we're going to get back into it. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's 2 musicians, 2 independent musicians who've been in the business for over 2 decades each, discussing what it's like to be a musician, a practicing musician in American culture, which is obsessed with celebrity and fame. And for me personally, it was understanding that I wanted to source the divine. That was my life's mission, and to try to bring what I felt like were the beautiful parts of my inner being to the external to share. And not
How's
to
that going?
It's, it's an interesting journey. Thanks for asking. Anyway, we discussed that on the podcast. Andrew has been recording albums since 1998, And he's putting out 2 records in this year, one that he recorded at the very beginning of the pandemic, and another album that's coming out in January. And you can find information about him at junestar.com.
That is correct.
And we're going to sing one of his songs now. It's a song called Telegraph.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a song about love.
I have heard 500,000 singing songs that sing your name. All the times building so late, I am lost, yeah, in this place. I am lost, yeah, in this place. Ringing truth from the mountain, I fear, yeah, your wedding bells. Love the cold, dead and buried. Burn the husk and save the shell. Burn the husk and save the shell. Rusting old, with fortunes glowing, barren hopes, yeah, they're in these hands. Sing your songs of absolution, and wear, yeah, your wedding band, and wear, yeah, your wedding band. All right, that was a song by Andrew Grimm. Now we're going to take a 10-second break while I move over to the piano. Give me just a moment to do that. Well, hello there. I was born and raised in Texas, and I drove down there about 3.5 weeks ago because of the pandemic. I haven't seen my parents for almost a year, and so it was really important. I wanted to see them and get back to Maryland before the election. My parents paid for many years of piano lessons, and about 8 or 9 years ago, my mother said, "I have good news and bad news. The good news is that we're getting a couch." And I was like, that's great news. Couches are wonderful. You can do lots of things on couches. You can watch movies. You can have family over. You can read a book. You can take a nap. The bad news is we're going to sell the piano. And my first thought was like, you cannot do this. You cannot sell the piano because anyone who's owned a piano, especially a grand piano, there's a reason why the lid closes. Because what happens is, as a child, you lift the lid and you tell your most personal secrets into the piano, and then you close the lid. And once the lid is closed, it's safe, it's secret. But if they sold the piano, somebody was going to open it up and let everything out. So I wrote the song to ask them a certain question. Please don't sell the piano. Still has songs left to play. It won't tell a soul no. All the things I said, but I really shouldn't say. Please don't tell the piano you fear it's sad and depressed. It was me who inspired all of the songs it confessed. Drag it out to the back by its legs before the sun settles down. Take out the keys and cut the strings, press the pedals right into the ground. Let the wind, the rain, and time age it to its bones. So we will have to start again with voices, trees, and stones. Please don't tell the piano they've come to take it away. And please don't sell the piano. Still has songs left to play. It still has songs left to play. That song always makes me laugh. Okay. So the next song I wanted to sing for you is called The Day Before We Met. And this is a song, I'm sure there are people out there who've had this experience where you have such a beautiful memory of a relationship that maybe it didn't turn out the way that you thought it was going to. And in part of your memory, you go back to that day before you even met the person, and you try to reconstruct it at some point. But as we all know, life does not work that way. You cannot go backwards. You can only go forwards. So I sing the song as a memory of that day. And just to know that today is that day. Today is the day before I'm going to meet somebody or something is going to happen tomorrow. And that kind of fills me with a sense of hope. I love this song. It's a love song. If you were to leave this house and toss away your key, if you were to close your eyes upon this life with me, I'd crawl into our lonely bed, and on your pillow I'd lay my day before we met. The sun would shine, the clouds would sigh, preparing for the time. Patiently I'd walk the path that brought your hand to mine. I'd memorize your lovely face and reveal the plan for our escape to lead a life without regret. Can't forget, I can't forget, I can't forget about the day before we met. I won't forget, please don't forget. Okay, Andrew Grimm, come back to the stage. Every dentist in the audience is going to hate to hear me say this, because I know there's a lot of dentists in the audience tonight, right?
Don't brush. Flossing's for fools.
No, you should floss and brush at least twice a day. I have 1 cup of coffee per day, but I have it over about 5 hours. And you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to sip on coffee. You're supposed to drink your coffee and then brush your teeth. So I'm not advocating that, but it did lead to this song because I was thinking about what coffee looks like if you've left it in the cup overnight and some of it has evaporated. It's definitely not the same experience as when you pour the first hot cup of coffee and the steam rises and you just have your book and the window. It's definitely a different experience the second day when the coffee is old and bitter. So this was a song, and that's the image that I started with in the song. This one's called Day Old Coffee, and it's pretty new. As weary and wasted as day-old coffee in a cup. I am as close as I can be, not close enough. As dull as a diamond in the rough, as blank as a poker player's bluff, as drowned as a drop of water in a summer flood, as stretched as a string about to snap, hard as a hand about to slap, brittle as a bone about to break, as distant as a dreamer when they wake. I remember when we built that wall. We drew a line from here to there. We made it strong and tall. A year to make it long, a year to make it wide, a year for you to climb to the other side. I remember when we built that wall. Scarred tattoo on your skin, hushed like a secret or a sin, sharp as a candle when it burns, as lonely as a lesson when it's learned. Hazy as a memory when it fades, as heavy as the promise that I made. I hold my heart out like a stone, as silent as the words we didn't speak. Now we're strangers when we meet. These are the things I wish I'd known. I am as weary and wasted as day-old coffee in a cup. I am as close as I can be, not close enough. I am as close as I can be, not close enough. All right. Almost 8 years ago, which is a shock to me to personally say, but anyone who's experienced any kind of long-term or acute trauma will understand what I'm talking about, or somebody who's cared for somebody who's experienced that will understand that sometimes things happen and it takes a long time to get better from them, but it also feels like it just happened. So on February 17th, 2013, I was hit by a criminally intoxicated driver in a very violent car wreck in Denton, Texas, outside of Denton, Texas, and while I was on tour. And it literally and figuratively changed the course of my life. I developed a disorder called post-traumatic stress disorder, and it broke open my heart in a way to empathy towards anyone who has chronic illness, chronic pain, and also psychological and mental health challenges. I was sympathetic to before, but now I feel that I've had this immersion experience, which has helped me to be softer with myself and with other people. And it's a learning process, and I will be learning that for the rest of my life. And it may sound strange, but I hope that this makes sense to anyone watching or listening. But I'm very, very grateful for the experience. I'm grateful for all the help I've had along the way, and also just all of the lessons that I've learned have been incredible. One of the lessons that I've learned is that sometimes a symptom of post-traumatic stress disorder is depression. And depression for me felt like a cone of darkness that would just descend over my entire body and my mind. And what I found was, if I could just find a little spark of light in that darkness, whether it was like a conversation with a friend, or that cup of coffee, or playing music, or just going for a walk or swim, there was just a little spark of light. And I would be able to see the door, the exit from this room that I was in. And so I wanted to write a piece of music that expressed to you the hopefulness of that if you are in a dark place, try to figure out what that little spark of light is, so that even if you're not able to see the door that's the exit, you can see it in a flash and you can walk towards it. So that's what the song ended up being about. All right. This is one of my favoritist songs to play, so I'm very excited that I'm gonna thank myself from the past for putting this on the set list tonight. So thank you, past Ellen Cherry, for being so wise to put this next song on the set list because I knew that I would enjoy it. I hope you will too. I have no more physical copies of CDs anymore. I've sold out all of them. About 2 years ago, I decided I wasn't going to print any more. And you can find all of my stuff on my Bandcamp site, which is available to you. John will, at some point during the show, he's going to post the website, which is ellencherry.com. And if you just click on the store page, you'll be taken to Bandcamp. I have a subscription service. So does Andrew. And if you send me one of those messages that I said earlier, I'll hook you to his Bandcamp site. Micro patronage is the way that of the future for most of us as independent musicians. And also supporting your local nonprofit music venues is a way to keep the arts alive through the pandemic. And so I wanted to just briefly thank again the Mainstay for inviting us to play the show tonight, to John and Clark for running the tech, for all the volunteers that I know work here during the regular season. You can find information about the Mainstay at mainstayrockhall.org. I got it. mainstayrockhall.org. You could also just search for it on the internet and you'll find it. It's a wonderful venue. I have felt so welcome tonight. And again, I'm excited about playing this song. This is a song about love. I like a bat that almost burns. I like a wheel that spins and turns. I always like to entertain, so there's no time to feel ashamed. I like sad songs about sad things, like silent films and wedding rings. I don't like sweet, but I like to savor all those shiny, pretty party favors. I like a lot of what's around me, but I love the thing that hasn't found me. Quiet and the waiting thing keeps my hands upon the strings. It cuts the seams of lovely dreams and then leaves. That moment at the start, the tease, the breath, the racing heart. I may stutter and I may laugh, I'll play the fool on your behalf. 'Cause I want the thing that makes me high, the first hello and the long goodbye. I wanna know what I don't know. I need to stop, but I wanna go. I like a lot of what's around me, but I love what wants to dazzle and astound me. Silent thing that dominates, it mesmerized, it fascinates, it makes it hard to separate the quick from the kind and the self from the mind. It's true, I might just slip and fall. Sometimes I like to spill it all. I could tell you what it's all about, but I think it's time for you to shut my mouth. I like a lot of what's around me, but I love the dog that howls and hounds me. The fevered dream is manifest. It sparks and scalds without a rest. It rips my heart right from my breast and then smiles. All right, we've got 2 more songs for you this evening. I'm going to head back to the piano for this one, and I'll tell you more about it then. Give me just a minute. On July 3rd, 1863, in the only civil war that this country will have, Longstreet ordered one of his lieutenant generals, Pickett, to assault General Meade, who was in the Union forces at Gettysburg. And it's considered by scholars to be the high water mark for the Confederacy. It was a devastating, brutal, bloody loss, like war generally tends to be, no matter who is the victor. And I'm a student of history. I always found stories very, very interesting. That's why I became a storyteller. And I found that battle just to be just illustrative of doing futile things, going up a hill over and over again, trying to take the hill and losing 50%, having a 50% casualty rate is just, it seemed like madness to me. And I remember in 2009 reading about our invasion of Iraq in the New York Times. And a couple of pages later, there was another story by astronomists, information that had come from astronomists about us finally seeing this one star that had died millions of years ago. And that concept struck me as so fascinating to think about being on this planet and then finally, like we are in the future of that star. We are looking into the past. And for some reason, over this song, those 2 concepts united. And so as we go into the next couple of months as a nation, I'm looking forward to reconnecting and uniting towards a more progressive, loving, humane, and kind future together. I'm really, really looking forward to that. And I know it's possible because of the people that I've experienced in my life and the person that I'm trying to be. So this is a song about peace, even though it seems like it's about the war. And I offer it to you as my gift for a more peaceful world. When I was young, I used to wonder at the sun and the universe of things I didn't know. Was there a soul like me in another galaxy, peering through an ancient telescope, waving hello? Well, then I read the news today, 7 trillion miles away, a star exploded into space. Could that have been my little friend, just preparing for the end by pressing send before erase and letting go? Letting go. 13 times into the fray. How many lives, how many days? This is a song about the war. And as a wheel in the machine, well, I've been numb and I've been mean, but I can't take it anymore. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Let's explode. It is such a pleasure to play for you this evening. And I don't think I'm in the monitor anymore. There we are. Thank you so much. So it's such a pleasure to play for you this evening. It's an interesting, strange time for everyone, and especially, I think, to be in the performing arts. We are navigating absolutely new landscapes, and generally that's an exciting thing to do. I'm just really happy that I have partners on stage like Andrew Grimm, and partners in venues like John Clark and the Mainstay, and partners in you, the audience, who are trusting that we're going to do our best to all move safely forward. Part of that is just doing something as simple as this. You may have been wondering what this was around my neck. It's a mask. You just put it over your face like that, and what it does is it protects me and it protects you. And I appreciate that you make that effort on my behalf, and I'm going to make it on your behalf because I love you. And I don't say that lightly. I say it sincerely. And that's why we're going to end with a love song. So thank you for being with us this evening, and we will see you out on the road. If you need to find me, I'm at ellencherry.com. And I said this a couple of days ago. As long as there's breath coming into this body, there's going to be a song coming out. So I will continue to work on songs. Keep yourself safe. I don't think that's quite in tune. Hold on. There's the culprit. This is a song from my newest record, which came out April 1st. It's called Collage. It's available to you on Bandcamp. And I love singing the song. I'm so glad that the song chose me as its instrument. How could I let you be so mean? How could I let you sleep next to me? How could I let you say those things? How could I let you be so mean? How could I fill a whole house with tears? How could you close your mouth for years and years and years? of love. I heard you found a good place to hide, where you could watch the stars collide. Maybe you learn a new way to move. Maybe I finally told the truth. And if I cut my lip with words, I'll pretend it really doesn't hurt. I want to write a new song of love. I want to be far away, to be far enough. I want to make it through and not just make it up. I want to write a new song of love. And when you hear my voice, you'll know that I am letting go. I'm gonna write it all down by hand. I'm gonna learn to swim in quicksand. I'm gonna trust what's real from the start. I'm gonna write it all down by heart. I'm gonna tangle close with fear. I'm gonna learn to dance for years and years and years. I'm gonna write a new song of love. I'm gonna be proved wrong and not give up. I'm gonna cut the diamonds from the rough. I'm gonna write a new song. I wanna write a new song of love. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.